Today we're going to be checking out the T-120 Videotape Echo from Demedash. Good afternoon. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. If you're new, hi, I'm Miles. I do music stuff. And today we're going to be doing a demo talking about this little device from the company Demedash, the T-120 Videotape Echo. Now, I recently wanted to get my hands on this pedal after seeing a demo that my friend Emily did on her channel. If you don't know her, go check her out. And after waiting what seemed like forever after dealing with a bunch of complications because of shipping going from Canada to the US and the US Postal Service being trash right now, I finally got my pedal. And since having gotten my hands on this thing, I gotta say that I've really been enjoying myself. What I really liked was that when they shipped this pedal out to me, they not only shipped it with a band of actual VHS tape around it, but also with an abundance of stickers and a cool little bag. They really went out of their way to ship this thing to me in style, and I want to make it known that it's definitely appreciated. There's very few instances when I get a new piece of gear or a new pedal or something like that, that when I open the packaging, I'm pleasantly surprised just by the presentation inside the box. And I'm not usually one to make a big deal about packaging when it comes to new gear, because I'm more concerned with the actual product itself. But in this case, what I got in this box was really cool, and job well done, guys. The T-120 delivers a delay that can bring about a nostalgic trip back to the days of VHS cassettes and watching your favorite movies over and over and over on the same tape, to the point where that tape now has developed a warble in the audio. Maybe there's some fluctuations in the visual of the actual movie itself, some static, some new noise being introduced, but still an overall warmth and goodness of fond memories from the days of your youth. Really warms my 80s baby soul. When I first saw the design of the labeling on the pedal, the first thing it made me think of was like an old copy of Land Before Time. I don't know if anyone else remembers those movies, dinosaurs and stuff, before Pixar made their awful version of it called The Good Dinosaur. There was a great movie called Land Before Time, and then they ruined it and they made like 18 other ones that just were not good. But yeah, besides the point, back to the pedal. You can basically split this pedal's controls into two different sections, and as far as the controls that you have on here, the main ones are very simple and straightforward, the main stuff that you would find on any typical delay pedal. We have time, which dictates the amount of time or distance between the repeats of your delay. So you can have it set for a real short slapback delay type, or you can have it set so that the repeats are more spread out. We have the mix control, which controls the level of the repeats themselves. So if you have this set all the way counterclockwise, you're not going to hear anything but your dry signal. But if you ramp that all the way up, you're basically going to be in territory where you have all delay, no dry signal. So if you want to go without your training wheels of your actual guitar sound, you have the ability to do so. And intensity is equivalent to the feedback control that you would find on other delay pedals. Basically controlling the number of repeats that you have coming from your initial dry signal. So with this control set all the way down, I believe you get like 2 repeats initially of your dry signal, while as you go up, you give yourself a more invasive level of repeats of the delay, basically leading to my favorite thing, self-oscillation. So with the combination of these top 3 controls, if you have your intensity set to a nominal setting, you can use the mix to keep it from being too invasive to your dry signal and still allow you to have some clarity of your initial guitar line that you're playing. The T-120 also includes a low-frequency oscillator, otherwise known as an LFO. And basically what this does is that it takes your dry signal and in the repeats of the delay will fluctuate the pitch of those repeats, giving you sort of a warp tape sound overall. So you could think of this as being similar to what you would find with a vibrato pedal, which is essentially a modulation pedal without the dry signal being put on top of the affected wet signal. It just gives you that sort of seasick fluctuation in your pitch overall. Except in this case, it's just in the delay. And to control the LFO, we have this secondary line of controls down here. Now, two of the controls that are on here are listed as controlling two different things, and we'll get into that in a moment, but first we're going to talk about the depth control. The knob for the depth control dictates just how much of a fluctuation you're going to have in terms of the pitch in the delay trail. And the speed knob controls the speed of that fluctuation, whether it's a slow and subtle wave or if it's a real erratic warble that's going on. And then the third knob over here controls what's called tape quality. So what this is essentially doing is controlling the level of bandwidth that's in your delay trails overall. At lower settings, the tape quality knob can give you what is similar to being found in an analog delay, where the repeats as they repeat are going to have different tonal qualities and get darker, more degraded as time goes on. And I think with something like the tape quality knob being included here, it's where this pedal's lo-fi qualities truly shine. So getting back to the first two knobs that we were initially talking about, The other two controls that are on here say glide and randomize, and these are the controls that can be accessed in the secondary control set. Basically what you would do in order to access the secondary controls is you would turn the pedal on and then hold the foot switch down until the red indicator light turns yellow. Once it turns yellow, you're now able to manipulate the controls that are in the secondary control set. And those controls are glide and randomize. The glide control dictates how subtle or chaotic the shifting in pitch in the delay trail actually ends up being. At the lowest settings, the shifts in pitch are immediate and gives more of a glitchy sort of feel overall. And when you have it set to full tilt, they're at risk of going completely off the rails. And randomize controls the amount of random movement that's taking place in the overall modulation waveform. So if you have this set to a low setting, things are going to stay relatively consistent as far as the fluctuations that you're hearing in the delay trails. While as you go up, you're adding more random movement and changes in the distance of fluctuation to your overall delay trails. You also have the ability to use the T-120 in a momentary manner as well. And you would do that in a similar manner to accessing the secondary control set that we were talking about just before. In this case, you're turning the pedal on, and then you're holding the foot switch down, and until you let go of it, the pedal's going to stay on. So this could be helpful if you're setting this up for a real erratic sort of sound in terms of a delay setting, but you don't want it to be something that is enveloping your entire guitar tone. And you just want it to be a momentary, ah, and then ceases to be. The T-120 runs on 9-volt power and does not include a power adapter and does not take 9-volt batteries, which is fine, really. I think this is kind of a weird pedal to think of using with a 9-volt battery, because how are you going to truly know when you need a new battery just based on how it sounds at full power? So overall, I really like what's going on with this pedal. There's the snooty guitar player side of me that wants to say,
if only it had tap tempo.
But I don't think that goes along with the overall aesthetic that this pedal is trying to put forward. It's trying to bring about all the best qualities of a sort of primitive technology in terms of VHS and cassette tapes, where you have stretches in the film where it's going to distort the picture and the sound, and you have the introduction of static after multiple times of listening to and watching the same audio and video. And so to try to include tap tempo into that, it's like having a VCR plugged into a 4K TV. At least that's what I think. Upon first using this pedal, the first thing that popped into my head was the Mars Volta record Amputecture. The overall sound of that record, and especially the guitars on there, are very reminiscent of what you get with this delay. And that's one of my favorite records, so I immediately was in love with this thing. And Demedash offers the T-120 in a series of different finishes. It's not just this brushed silver one. I believe there's a black sparkle one as well. I almost got that one, but I ended up settling on this one just because I wanted to be able to see it better. That's not a knock against them. I just have terrible eyesight and have been reluctant to get a new prescription of glasses. But that's another conversation for another time. So if you're in the market for a delay pedal that's going to give you something that sounds unique and that's immediately going to get your creative wheels turning, I would highly recommend checking out the T-120. And it's not the only offering from Demedash, so I will leave a link to their website down below, and you should go and check out everything they have to offer over there. And that's all that I got for you guys for today. Big thank you to the people over at Demedash for sending this out my way. And I hope you found this demo to be informative and enjoyable. And if you did, and you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It makes these videos visible to a wider audience, so, help me out. Help me help you. And if you want to support the channel with more than just liking and subscribing, I'll leave a link down below to my Patreon page as well, where you can check out all the perks that are attached to your commitment over there. And with that, that's all I got for you guys for now. I'm going to put forth my best effort to remain consistent with putting out videos in a timely fashion. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'm going to have some more demos coming very soon. I appreciate your presence here. I hope to see you in the next video. You've been great. Keep playing. Peace.